It's been a real roller coaster dealing with the music industry, to be transparent with you. Yeah.
And what's very interesting about you, mate, is that you have 7 streams of income, and we'll be diving into that.
When I go to the movies, I spend at least $100
Yeah.
because you get in nachos and popcorn and 2 big ices, and we want the seats that recline back.
Woo,
The more I
okay.
have this interview with you, the more I feel like I need to make better decisions and be more
Financial
responsible.
decisions, huh?
Yeah.
Welcome to Money Exposed, the show where we expose successful individual story, finance, and net worth. My name is Romain, and today I am with Yelohill. How are you doing, mate?
Look, how you doing, brother? Thanks for having me here.
Of course. Let's
Amazing.
look at your profile. You are 32 years old. You're originally from Los Angeles. You have 104,000 followers on Instagram, 500,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, and also millions on view on YouTube. You work as a rapper. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I like to see myself as a entrepreneur at the same sense, but for the most part, I feel like the epitome of the Yelohill brand is me being a rapper.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Okay. And what's very interesting about you, mate, is that you have 7 streams of income, and we'll be diving into that. But first, let's look together at your story. So,
get it.
Yelohill, bring me into your story and what brought you today to this success, but that probably had quite a bit of concessions and probably wasn't easy.
No, definitely. I feel like I've been through the trials and tribulations of any Los Angeles kid to
Okay.
a certain degree, in and out of schools, getting kicked in and out of schools. Once I graduated, I went to CSUN and I got my degree in bioscience. So I went to a 4-year university. I got my degree there. Got a job instantly right after that.
Okay.
It was a manufacturing company, and they processed this chemical called albumin, and it basically helps to heal leukemia in kids.
Okay.
So it was something that I was passionate about in the beginning stages of my life, academically and educationally speaking. But whenever I'd go to work, I'd be working like 10 to 12 hours, graveyard shifts, and I'd be going in sleepy, and then I would have no free time to do anything. I didn't even have any free time to really like enjoy restaurants I wanted to go to, because half the time I'd be sleeping. If I wasn't asleep, I'd be at work. So I got super, super depressed. As I got depressed over the years, I was like, yeah, you know what, bro, I quit. I'm done. So then I tried the music thing, right? When I tried the music thing, that didn't work. So I hit a blank on that. So I had like 4 or 5 songs came out, 200 views on this one, 100 views on this one, 0 views on this one, and whatever happened to the other 2, I don't even know.
Wow.
So I got discouraged, started work. I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm cool. I went through my whole drinking phase, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just about to go get a job down the street from my sister's house. So I thought that was cool. But later after that, I stumbled across one of my homeboys, and he was like, what do you do for a living? I haven't seen him since high school. And he was like, what do you do for a living, bro? And I'm like, man, right now, bro, I'm just working at Shakey's. And he looked at me, he said, what? And he was like, Shakey's what? I was like, Shakey's Pizza. He's like, what do you mean you work at Shakey's? Like, you're the manager, you're the CEO maybe, or what's going on? Because everybody had high hopes for me in high school. I was pretty intelligent, but then I was also into entertainment. So they kind of thought I was going to go far at that point.
I see.
So he's like, man, you're not about to do that, bro. You're going to come work for me. You can come drive with me. You can come kick it with me and just spend the day with me. I'll shoot you like a couple $100 a day.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Not to get into too much detail about what I was actually doing with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He made a good amount of money, and every day. So if I made 200, 400, 600, maybe I'll make like 1,200 to 1,500 in a week.
Whoa.
And I was stacking that up until I hit maybe $10,000. Right after that, I spent $10,000 to $12,000 maybe on a recording studio.
Okay.
We both went into business. We started something called the Golden Legacy Studios.
Wow.
And
nice.
we started an LLC. Things didn't work out between him and I. So we ended up parting ways. And guess what happened again? I went flat broke because I didn't have my wings ready to fly. And what he was had a profession in, I was trying to be trained in a profession in, but I just didn't have enough knowledge in that field where he brought me into to make $200 a day. So yeah, man. And then we kind of fell out, and a lot of things happened, and some street stuff happened, and things of that nature. I want to say after that, that's when like I went through a super, super bad depression as well. And I actually just started living off different girls.
No way.
Yeah.
What do you mean living off different girls?
So I felt like I was like too lazy, and I wasn't motivated, and I wanted the easy way out, and I didn't want to go back to working a 9-to-5 job.
So like a sugar baby or so?
No, I had a little bit of popularity, correct, right?
I see.
But I used my popularity and I used my charm and my good looks to kind of just trick girls into thinking that I liked them. It wasn't a lot of them, but to stay afloat, with money and finances, I'll be honest, like I might be staying at using a girl's car that I don't even really truly like because I don't have a car. So I would like kind of play a little pretentious game with them. And I learned that spiritually, I always hit a brick wall with that. I'm a firm believer in God. So I felt like me using these girls or me using these people just to get ahead as stepping stools, or me mistreating them just so I can use their car, stay in their house, or do different things of that nature. I thought that I was going to get ahead in life. And I did a little bit, right? I got a chain. Maybe I got a car. Maybe I would, be laying in their parents' bedroom when their parents aren't there. Or I would be kind of, you know what I'm saying? But I would notice every time I would live like that, I would just be living in circles, and something would happen with my car. Something would happen with my chain. I lost the chain randomly. And it was because the way I was accumulating revenue wasn't sitting well with my spirituality. And I felt like that's why I hit rock bottom in that aspect. So you can only imagine me continuously trying new things. And I'm not doing the right thing. And I always fall on my butt. And then when I finally dig deep inside and just believe in myself and utilize my talents and utilize who I am as a person with my musicianship and my artistry, that's when I started to see a change. And that's when it took a turn for the better. And I started to actually develop more revenue and more streams of income just based off of the talent that I possessed as an individual musical artist.
I see. Okay, that's very interesting. So the story, I'm sure, and thank you for walking us through some of the apogee of your story. I'm sure there is so much more around it.
Yeah.
But did it go right away? You released the song and overnight it was like, all right, I'm actually making it happen this time?
I want to say, yeah. Okay, so there's a song called Gangsta. So I put out Gangsta, and then in the beginning, the 2 days, it was stuck at like 200 views.
Oh, okay.
And I was sitting there and I was like, what the heck's going on? I kept trying to refresh YouTube. I think I almost wanted to call YouTube. But you can't get in contact with YouTube like that. It's not like calling Target and trying to see if they have any boxers. It's YouTube, bro. So I couldn't get in contact with them. And I want to say maybe 4 or 5 days after that, the views just started going crazy. And then I started seeing my Instagram following going up. Then I started getting people from different labels like, yo, who's this kid? And they're posting on the Spotlight blog stuff. And I'm going to be honest with you. It tickled my fancy and it stroked my ego to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do this shit. And then I just kept going on ever since then. And I just been building from then. Now, there were tough, rough ships in between that era where I had fame, and then I'd get a little money, but I go broke again because there was just no stability. At the end of the day, it's been a real roller coaster. It's been a real roller coaster dealing with the music industry, to be transparent with you. Yeah.
I love that. And we'll be discussing some of the components around the different streams of income for someone that's maybe not yet at hundreds of millions of views, but still you're hitting a pretty high bar.
Yeah.
And as I can see right now, looking on YouTube at Gangsta, you have 500,000 views on it, mate.
Yeah.
There
Definitely.
Okay, nice. So you had kind of that kick start, and then things kind of started to work together. You felt some type of momentum going for you?
Yes.
Okay, and now, definitely today it's your full time. That's what you do.
That's how we do, baby.
That's how we do it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Which actually then leads me right away through some of the components around your income and your assets. All right, so let's first start with your first stream of income and, kind of your smallest one, but still gives you decent income monthly. You do post stories.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
On Instagram, leveraging your followers of about 104,000 followers. How much do you charge for that?
So atypically with an Instagram story post or something like that, stories range from 50 to 100. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. So there will be times, right, where my bank account will be looking funny. And I'm like, bro, just give me it for 25 so I can get me and my girl something to eat. but it's not recent. But I'm saying that's happened before.
Yeah.
And then I'll charge just maybe up to like 100, but I won't charge more than 100 for a story post because it's just a story post.
I see. Okay.
But yeah, it's easy. You'll just say, yo, I'm doing story promo today, and then businesses, barbers, and mechanics, people that have businesses or just people that do things in general, they'll pay me $50 to $100, 25 lowest if I don't have enough for a Subway sandwich.
All right, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and how many times a month would you say you do that? It's kind of random. It's sparse around.
It's random. You know what? I don't really necessarily like to, but I do sometimes. But if I'm not doing anything and I just feel like making some money today,
okay,
then yeah, maybe like, I don't know, man, a month, couple times, yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's move on to your second stream of income. You actually work as well as a clothing model for popular brands, right?
There's up and coming streetwear brands that'll reach out to me and they'll be like, yo, I want you to wear my clothing. And I'll be like, all right, well, I charge $600.
There you go.
Yeah.
$600.
But yeah, yes, sir.
That's good. And that generally is kind of like you have to post online, or you just have to kind of like, hey, this is part of your clothing store now.
So they'll send me the clothes and I can do a story post with it, right? Or I could just be, but I'll charge more if they want me to do a real photo shoot. So for a real photo shoot, I might tax them like $1,000 for a photo shoot, because then they can take that licensed material that I just signed off on and they can just use that, put it on billboards. It's going to bring more people in. It's basically, they're utilizing me for my notoriety. I'm utilizing them for their finance.
That's fair. All right. Let's move on to our next income pool. You also have walkthrough. So actually, walk me through that. What is that?
So walkthrough is more so like, say they want Yelohill at, let's just call it Club French, Club Plant. For the lack of a better word, because I'm seeing plants right here. So Club Plant, right? So you go to Club Plant and they offer me bottle service. They offer me maybe a photo booth or something like that, and I can bring a couple friends. I literally just get paid to go have fun. Like sometimes like what these Instagram models would do or something, right? But it's like, since I have a certain stature or notoriety or popularity, when I post on my page, that brings more people into the club. So depending on how much people you can bring in, that's how much you get paid.
How much do you charge?
I could charge about, I want to say maybe 500. I could do 500. Yeah, 500.
Okay.
Because it's not a performance, so.
No, it's very fair. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Next one that you also mentioned is potentially your clothing brand that you're probably wearing as well.
Yeah, so this is actually a piece from the album. So this is more so, exactly, this is merchandise, but merchandise varies on your sales. For some people, I can't say, because there's other people, some of my peers, they make money every month off of it.
I see.
I don't make money every month off of my...
How much would you say you make more or less per month of this?
A good month, what I've done with clothing, maybe about 225, maybe 2 to 25. On a good month is what I've done personally.
But it fluctuates greatly.
Yeah, because they might not like the design. But if they do like the design, then you just keep switching the colors. And you can have dead months and you can have alive months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's continue to ramp up through your income stream. Next one is YouTube. And Yelohill, you have about 50,000 followers on YouTube. I'm sorry, subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And some of your songs have, millions of views.
Yeah.
Actually, which very briefly leads me to a segue, guys. We love to bring here different stories and just different natures, profile, always link around the finance components. If it's something that you like, we also, of course, invite you to like, subscribe, and comment. And now let's get back to our story with you. Yes, so sir. YouTube, you have definitely videos that you're pumping probably every month, but how much does that provide you?
I had to make a hypothesis, maybe about 1.8K, 1,800.
1,800?
Yeah, 1,800.
Okay, next income source that you have is you work as an artist developer. What is that?
Yeah, so an artist development program is something that I introduced not too long ago.
Okay.
I have different tiers of what I offer certain artists. So I may pick an artist that I really like, and not everybody gets chosen for this specific, practice that I have going on, but we'll bring them in, we'll give them some beats, we'll do 3 tracks with them. We got an engineer, producers, all in-house stuff. And say I charge a guy maybe $15,000 for that experience, or I charge him $16,000. So my take home is 10. I may shoot the producer 2, or the engineer gets like a cool 3 because he has to mix and master. And then me being the creative director and the face of the entire program, I bring home the most money because I'm the creator and the CEO of the fundamental program that I introduced to the world.
How often does this happen, though?
It's not often.
No?
It's not often. No, it's not often. It's more so because you got to think about it, right? It's like there's some talented people out here, and then there's some people that are not talented. So I'm not going to just choose an artist just because he has money. He can come to me with 25, 30 grand. If I don't like his music, I'm not going to put my name on it because that's my legacy.
Exactly.
So it doesn't happen that often.
It doesn't
right?
happen that often. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really good. Let's move on to our next one. And we are growing little by little to the high streams of incomes here. This one is actually your shows.
Yes.
So, of course, you do concerts.
Mm-hmm.
How much would you charge for that?
So if we do them all together, right? 1, 2, 3, or 4. If we do 4 of them, maybe I'll cut somebody a deal for like 1.5K of 1,500 each show.
I see.
So if I do 4 shows in a row and the promoter wants to do something for me, then I'll cut him a deal. But other than that, like it can go from 2 to 3 to be transparent with you. If it's
Per
just
show,
one show.
wow.
If it's just
Okay.
one show, yeah.
That's awesome. And generally, is that kind of the way it is in the industry? You don't get ticket sales. You just work with the promoter and they kind of pay you for the show no matter how many people show up?
Yeah, that's how I've been working on it. Back in the day when I was first starting out, it'd be tickets sometimes, but nowadays it's not tickets. It's just like, here's your flat fee. It don't matter if there's 15 people in there. Just run the money.
I see.
That's how it goes.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one that we have is actually your Spotify business.
Yeah.
Spotify, 500,000 monthly listeners. One of your single has up to 10 million plays. I'm actually impressed. But how much do they pay you per month?
I want to say 35.
35, that's it?
35. Yeah.
Wow.
35. Sometimes you're better off just going and printing your own CDs and distributing them yourself, because if you're really a high ranking artist or you have a lot of popularity, you could probably get way more than 3.4K on online distribution platforms. Cash money, you can get it through Zelle or Cash App, whatever the case may be.
I see.
But yeah, 3.4, 3.5K is probably what it maxes out to be.
All right. So as we think about those 7 streams of income altogether, here, if we look at some of the calculation components, frequency, would you say that it's fair that you average about 10,000 per month pre-tax? So about, let's say, $7,000 average post-tax per month. Is that fair?
I'd say that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that brings your income, Yelohill, at 32 years old at $120,000 per year.
Yeah.
If we compare that against the median in the United States, meaning 50% of the population make less, 50% makes more, for the age bracket that you're in within 25 and 34 years old,
Right.
the median is at $50,000.
Right.
So, of course, with someone of your success, and you probably paid quite a bit for it over the years of growing up your career, you're far above the median.
Yeah.
But still, guys, good food for thought here as you think about potentially these career aspirations and the different streams of incomes. As we think about the next step here in our money exposed segment, let's look at your assets. So thank you, Yelohill, for providing me with some of your statements here. As we start first with your checking account, my friend, you have $600.
Yes, sir.
But that's not just it, guys. I want to reassure that our friend here also is stacking quite a bit on his saving.
Yeah.
Which here sums to about $40,000.
Give or take. Because I do dabble into that sometimes, just being, what's the word I'm looking for? Irresponsible.
Oh.
Or sometimes, you might have bad months where you're not really making a lot of money at all. So then that leads you to having to go into that savings account, regardless of it being a rainy day, and the rainy days can just keep coming, So
tell me, how did you even come up with that money? Because you had to save for quite a while to get up to that saving account. Were you fairly frugal at some point?
No, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Some of the ways that I had made and accumulated that money is, it could be,
Okay.
it's just different stuff. Working at Subway, but yeah. So, but yeah, it just varies. Like I said before, like you'd have to dabble into a lot of that stuff, and you'd have to spend a lot of that when those rainy days come about. And those rainy days do tend to come about a lot, especially when you're in the dreamer's disease game.
The dreamer's disease game.
The dreamer's disease, I want to say, is just like, oh, I'm going to make this happen regardless of what happens. You may get your wife upset because you're not making a good amount of money. You may be losing sleep. You may not be eating healthy. You may die. You may cry. You may go through battle wounds and trials and tribulations just for this compassion that you have. And I call it a disease because what it does is if you're super compassionate about something and it's not happening for you and you keep doing it, to a certain degree, you're hurting yourself. And to a certain degree, you're not taking care of a responsibility outside of the musical world. And a lot of that time, people start to not take care of themselves. And I call it that because it's like you're just so tunnel visioned on becoming this huge star. And when it's not working, you keep falling on your ass, falling on your butt. And you consistently do it because you have this tunnel vision mindset of just becoming a star. That's when it becomes self-inflicting toxicity. And it becomes what I call the dreamer's disease.
Wow. Okay. And you feel like you've suffered from that?
I for sure have. I know that I'm going to get to a certain stature, but I am also knowledgeable enough to be like, pull some other marbles out of your pockets here. Figure some things out. You may need to invest or on the side, maybe pick up a shift somewhere, a graveyard shift at like Target, pushing boxes. Because life comes with responsibilities. And if your dreams aren't paying the bills, you got to just mesh towards other things. And that's what I feel like a lot of artists are afraid to do. I feel like a good point in this interview, what it's going to be, is just going to be an eye opener to a lot of artists that, it's okay to get a job. It's okay to do other things. It's okay to, go against the grain of what a rapper should do. Because most rappers, because they don't want to look a certain way, they're not going to get regular jobs. They're not going to be seen at Target. They're not going to be, washing dishes behind a Shakey's or something like that because they have too much pride. But that's another cause. That's another part of the dreamer's disease. So I just say that to say this. I feel like if anybody could take anything from this may have been off topic, but it's something that I just feel like is really healing for a lot of people. Forget what everybody else thinks, bro, and just chase your dreams. But at the same time, take care of your responsibilities and don't dream too crazy. Have a healthy balance between dreaming and working and keep them both alive. And that's that. But, sorry. No, that's probably not your topic. I'm sorry. It's not your subject of discussion, but I just felt like, a lot of people go through that. So yeah, anyways, but yeah.
No.
Yeah.
So I want to definitely encourage you and compliment you for bringing this to your attention. Here we are not crafting a story or crafting just an apogee of someone could be. Here we have it real. And the fact that you are able, even at your stature, to share those emotions, I actually really appreciate that. And yes, it might be a little bit off topic, but at the end of the day, it's about understanding the person and how does your finances intertwine with that, but also the story.
Yes.
So I appreciate that, and I encourage you to continue, of course.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. So let's continue through some of our assets. Okay. So a $40,000 saving account, pretty good, which is saving against your checking.
Yeah, which is slowly, it could be slowly depleting, but we'll be all right.
Yes, that's right. As we think about some of your expenses, you're spending quite a bit, my friend. Okay. Looking at some of other assets, do you have any other assets?
I have a car that I'm leasing to own,
Okay, what car do you drive?
It's a Toyota Tundra.
Okay, what year?
2022.
Nice, okay. And how many miles would you say it has?
I'm going to be totally transparent with you. I don't really look. I need to be more on top of that. I need to grow up and really look at how many miles I'm putting on this damn car, bro.
All right, so you would say like what, 2022, maybe 30,000?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. Do you own money on that?
Yeah. I do. I do own about $13,000.
Okay, 13,000, not too bad. I mean, if we look at the value of the car, it's at around 45.
Yeah.
So you have in equity on that car, my friend, 45? You have $32,000 of equity.
Yeah, which isn't too bad.
It's not bad at all. I mean, I don't really like a car as an investment. I mean, except if it's like classic cars and so on. It's one of the fastest depreciating assets. So I generally don't really encourage people to get into big cars. I mean, I guess it was kind of one of your guilty pleasures. Are you into cars or something?
Love trucks. I love trucks. It's a gas guzzler. Half of the time, I feel like I can't afford it, even being a rapper, bro. I can't. Sometimes I want to. I want to get a Prius, but I don't really care for Priuses, though.
I hear
you. Yeah.
So, do you have any other assets?
I don't.
Okay, so that's it. You have a kind of a checking, saving, and a car.
That's it.
That's okay, so all. That brings your total amount of liquidity today, my friend, if you had to sell everything, at $72,000.
Damn.
Which actually leads me now to our next segment, which looks at your expenses and your debt. So let's start very briefly through some of your expenses. You live the high life in LA?
Yeah, I live pretty fly, man. I shouldn't even be paying that much money though, because I can't really. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even feel like I really can afford where I stay.
Oh, okay. How much do you pay per month?
It's $32 standard.
Okay,
that comes with storage and stuff and a parking space. So yeah.
Okay, well that's fair.
Yeah.
But that brings, my friend, your housing expense against your income.
Yeah.
At 46%.
Yeah.
You know, we like it to be below 28.
Yeah.
So you are pumping on this, huh?
I'm doing a little too much. So basically, I'm stressing myself out.
I mean, you're inflicting yourself a little bit of financial pressure because with paying that much in rent, you're not creating any wealth.
Yeah.
You're just throwing money
in the garbage.
I mean, it's not in the garbage. You're probably living a good life in that apartment, although LA is expensive.
Oh, LA
is crazy. But almost 50% of your income, my friend, goes into this, huh?
It does. It does. Now that I'm thinking about it, because we said that before taxes, it's $10,000 for me, my income.
Yeah, so you're at 7.
With taxes, it's at 7. So if you think about it, $3,200 is basically half.
Pretty
of that,
much
right?
half, yeah.
So that leaves the other half to just scramble around and
and that
puts money inside of a Tundra that's way too much for me to handle.
And that's true, because how much do you spend on the Tundra per month, mate?
With gas?
Just the loan.
Like 8, man.
Wow. Okay.
Like 8.
Let's look at gas. How much do you spend on gas?
Bro, probably like 2 something a week, maybe.
200 a week?
Because I do a lot of driving.
Oof.
I be driving to the studio and stuff.
Ooh,
the more I have this interview with you, the more I feel like I need to make better decisions and be more responsible.
Financial decisions, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, actually, look, that brings right now your transportation cost, and I'm assuming about $200 for insurance for those type of cars, assuming you haven't had too many accidents in the back.
Yeah.
But my friend, here on transportation, you're spending 26% of your income. We like
on transportation?
Yeah, 1/4 of your income goes to transportation. We like it to be below 15.
Okay.
So here again, you are, spending quite excessively on things that
I don't necessarily, I can't afford, but I necessarily shouldn't right now.
I mean, it really depends, right? It's some people prioritize.
There's the
they spend
happiness
a certain
factor to
way.
it.
There is a happiness factor, but here we've already spoken together about 2 silly, not silly, base expenses, and you're at 75% of your income that's going away.
Yeah.
So I think we haven't spoken about food, about phones, about any other things that you may want to enjoy as well with your partner, like vacations and so on.
All of this, I can't even go to Japan or Bahamas.
That's true. No,
you can't.
cannot.
So I'll just be stressed out inside of a house and trying to figure out how I'm gonna make my next check.
Yeah, or you're depleting your $40,000 saving account little by little.
Maybe, you know what? Maybe it could be like a comfortability factor, or it could be just me not paying proper attention to money management.
It's true. I want you to start looking a little bit more into that as we think about some of the rest of your expenses, which I don't want to go too much in detail, but thank you for providing us with some of the rundown as we summarize a little bit. But I see that you have big expenses around entertainment, which is a nature for you, but you go to the cinema quite often, my friend. Huh?
You still what? The cinema? Yeah. When I go, and it's so crazy. Now that I'm talking to you, I'm like, when I go to the movies, I spend at least $100.
Woo!
Just like my homeboy James, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
James.
Because
you're getting nachos and popcorn and 2 big ices, and we want the seats that recline back.
Yes, of course. I hear you, but the $100 on
to
movies.
sit for an hour. What's so funny though? I think that's like a happiness factor.
I can hear
that one. I'm cool with, but you know what? You're having me kind of think twice about this 91 gas guzzling Tundra, bro.
Like as an financial perspective, to me right now, this is not at all a good financial decision for you, my friend. Huh?
Yeah.
Because not only do you spend a fortune in a depreciating asset, so you're not creating any wealth,
Yeah.
but also you're spending into a car that's requiring you premium fuel and crazy miles per gallon.
For
So-
what?
So
Yeah.
so that's the thing. I don't want you to go to the route of, a Prius because you have a strong income, but I don't want you neither to crank into a Hypertrucks that's costing you a fortune. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, here briefly, as we think about kind of your financial situation together, my goal as well is to kind of complement a little bit your thoughts with how can you best set yourself with some of the cards that you have at play. You have many at play, my friend. But
Yeah.
let's think about some of the rest of your expenses here, and some of your debt other than the car. That you have $13,000 debt. Do you have any other type of debt?
I have. I had a credit card debt.
Oh, credit cards.
Yeah.
Okay. How much do you have on it?
I think I have to pay 2,500 and something left over.
Ooh, okay. That credit card is probably charging you quite a bit of interest.
That
Those are some of the worst debt that you can have.
Oh my! You know what's so crazy? It's weird though because it actually saved me from getting an eviction notice one time.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. That's
So it came in handy, but you are also right though. You don't want to have that kind of debt though.
No,
for
because
sure.
you have 40 grand on the account. What has prevented you from paying this card?
And you know what it is? It's more so a factor of not paying attention and moving too fast.
Let me tell you this, my friend. Looking at your credit card, and let's say it has an average interest of about 30% of interest per year on this debt that you can pay right away. You have the funds. You're
Yeah.
paying $650 to the bank
Yeah.
on nothing.
Yeah.
Just
So
throwing money in the
this is thrown
garbage.
in the garbage.
Right away. Every year, $650 when you can pay back that card.
Right.
So I want you to be mindful of that. Credit card debt, please, except for crazy emergencies,
Yeah.
do not tap into that. It's a financial disaster.
Oh my God.
Okay.
And I know somebody that opens up quite a lot of credit cards.
Yeah.
They got like 5 or 6 out or something. But I'm not gonna say any names. But yeah.
But it depends. I have 12 credit cards.
Right. But you probably know how to.
Exactly. I play the game. I don't have credit card debt at all. But it requires, I contain myself to some of my spending.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a way to build a credit score,
Right.
which will be important for you as you think about home ownership potentially in the future and so on.
Right.
But carrying a balance on your credit card is not going to help your credit score. Let me tell you that right away.
Yeah.
So I want you to start thinking about kicking that out
That
with
door
the 40
down,
grand
yeah.
that you have. Yeah, you're paying money on nothing, dude.
Yeah.
That's not the best, okay?
Yeah.
But other than that, my friend, at 32 years old, you're in a pretty strong financial situation, to be honest, because other than this debt, you don't have any other debt, right?
No other debt that I can think of.
Okay. So that brings actually your net worth, my friend, which looks at
Oh,
your...
you're gonna tell me my net worth?
Yes, I am.
Oh man, what's my net worth? Oh,
So you
man.
have a liquidity of $72,000, but you have for debt $15,500.
Christ.
All right, Yelohill, at 32 years old with a very strong career already in the rap industry, my friend, today you have a net worth of $56,500.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
It's some room for improvement.
That is
It
a
ain't
room
too
for
bad, though.
improvement, but hey, dude, that's pretty good.
It is what it is. Yeah.
All right, great.
We'll get to the milli. A couple milli. Yeah.
So as we kind of bring together closure into your financial situation, here are some of the components that I want you to start thinking about, okay? Number one, right now you have $40,000 that is on your saving account that is bringing you $0 per year. Just worthless saving interest rates from banks. It's peanuts. When you have inflation, Yelohill, that is eating you every year, which is about 6%. And what I mean by that is something that cost you $1,000 this year is going to cost you $1,060 next year for the exact same thing. So this is what I want you to think about. I want you to invest a very vast portion of that saving account into what we call the high yield saving account. Okay? This is going to give you 5 to 6% per year on your money. And that allows you to fight inflation. And it's money that's readily available. Okay? Second thing, I want you to pay that credit card debt as soon as you leave here. This should not exist anymore, especially when you have more than $50,000 worth of net worth. It's not mathematically logic. The third thing is I want you to start considering alternative routes of investments. And what is nice to see is that you're definitely investing into your music, clips, and so on. I love to hear that.
Yeah.
Potentially think about diversification through potentially market investments. You know, and you don't have to go the route of going with individual stocks or crypto or any of that. With many people have had a tough time with that. Okay, it's tough. Personally, if I were you, I would invest into something like the S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies in the United States. They give you back on your money about 10% a year. So if you invest $10,000, you just let it go. You win $1,000 per year doing nothing.
Yeah.
I also want to start thinking about putting money on your retirement. Let's be honest, dude, because right now you have zero.
Yeah.
Okay. And for that, please follow something that is called a Roth IRA. Okay. And it's very easy. Please, if you can max it out, you make such a great income. If you can max it out at around $6,000 per year, you're peace and love. You're going to be good by retirement age. I don't want you to feel like right now, my friend, you have excellent momentum for you. You have strong finances, although your needs are really expensive. Right now, your needs, if shit hits the fan and you have to pay for your needs, you're at around $6,000. Okay?
Wow.
So Yelohill, overall here, do you feel that this discussion has brought some good insights into your financial situation?
Personally, this podcast has probably been the most insightful and enlightening experience.
I see.
Because every other podcast, you know, where are you from? What's your favorite color? Which is cool. It's fun. But something like this is life-changing and altering. So I really appreciate that, honestly. It's beautiful.
Okay.
For sure.
Well, I love that. Guys, it was a pleasure to host an individual like yourself, and the fact that you were so open-minded to all your stories, some of your finance, and just speaking with someone like you is, you know, it's fun.
Yeah.
But I appreciate your time. I appreciate you came over. Guys, again, we would love if you can please help us out by liking, commenting, and subscribing as well to our channel. This was Romain and Yelohill. We see you guys next time. À bientôt.